Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Monday, February 25th. A lot of NBA action today, about 6 games in the NHL, and just a couple college games. So let's start off with a little review of yesterday's Sunday games. I put out a video reviewing the Saturday games. We noticed Michigan State could get the 65th win in the series against Michigan in the modern era. That wasn't the all-time record. That was the modern era record on Pro Basketball Reference. Michigan State did pick up that 65th series win on a date with 65 numerology. So again, I think using the current major school records and the all-time records are important, and I favor the major school era more. So, just to remind, last week we saw North Carolina and Duke play, and we noticed in the all-time record going beyond the major school era, Duke was at 111 wins. Their number, that's really been their number this year. Again, Blue Devils is 111. Zion Williamson's full name's 111. Durham, North Carolina's 111. They became 11-1 in New York. New York 111. And they stayed at 111, Zion Williamson with the fake injury. So it's probably good to look at the modern school era and the all-time record, especially in a historic matchup like Duke, North Carolina. But right here, Michigan State got the 65th series win on the 65 date. I had a good feeling that was the way it was going to be. There wasn't a lot to go off of in this Villanova-Xavier game, but like I pointed out, it was on a date with 20 numerology. Villanova could stay at 20 wins. So, you can't always be confident on a read like that, but something to keep an eye on. So Villanova did stay at 20 wins on the 20-date numerology. If you missed the review of Saturday, Saturday had the 37 numerology. 37 was the 12th prime. If you go through the Saturday games, it was a 12 show. I mean, almost every team picked up a 12, often in the conference record. And again, we did very well in college basketball on Saturday. The only game that I was really mad at myself for was being on the wrong side of the Duke-Syracuse game. Should have followed the 12 pattern there. But anyhow, college basketball, good yesterday. I think I've decided something about NBA and NHL. Yesterday's date in the lesser numerology methods had a 45 and 26 connection. I pointed out the Raptors could get 45 and 26, but it was the weaker date numerology, and they didn't. I noticed those weaker date numerologies, they seem to show up in series records, but not so much immediate season records. So I think we got to stop even trying to formulate a judgment off the lesser numerology methods for win-loss records. So Raptors did not pick up 45 and 26. Magic stayed at 33 losses. Gonna have to follow how long they stay at 33. Magic's 33. The Nuggets, they picked up their 41st win. LA 41 the 13th prime. LA also 13, so that was something that stood out. They did get their 26th home win on the 26th date, but it was probably more about the LA 41-13 thing. And like I pointed out, Nuggets equals 33. The Clippers stayed at 33 wins against the Nuggets. So, the 26 did prevail here, but there were other things. It was the opponent name that also factored into the win-loss record, and in both categories. And in the Spurs-Knicks game, there wasn't anything to go off of with confidence here. I said probably just stay away from this game. New York does equal 33, so does Spurs. And it's just hard to have confidence in the Knicks. But the Spurs did stay at 33 wins. Spurs and New York both 33, so maybe I should have had more balls there and said, hey, maybe the Knicks are worth a pick. But I'm still thinking the Knicks are going to win 17 games. So they got 5 more to win if I'm right. NBA's regular season ends around mid-April. Okay, then NHL. NHL started off looking good, and then things got so again, what I was saying for the Sunday games, Rangers could stay at 27 wins, and the Capitals could get their 77th points. New York Rangers equals 77. DC's on the 77th meridian. So like the Capitals here, another overtime nail biter. The Sharks, I like them to get their 37th win over Detroit. Detroit 37. That kept the Red Wings at 55 points on the 55th day of the year and at 55 series wins. So I like these picks because there were multiple things that stacked up. They both went the way expected. Dallas Stars equals 27. I was thinking the Blackhawks could even up their record at 27-27 against the Dallas Stars. So that did not prevail. I really did think that one was going to prevail, so that one surprised me a little bit. No dice there. Senators. If you took the puck line in this game, you won. I thought the Senators had a good chance to upset the Flames, but again, anytime it's a really good team in terms of the narrative versus a pretty mediocre team, it's always best to take the points. If you took the puck line, you won. But the thing was, Calgary Flames equals 51, and Senators also has that Gematria 51. The Senators would have got to 51 points with the win. Also, Ottawa equals 17. The Flames could have picked up their 17th loss. So I was thinking the Senators did have a good chance at the upset. If you took the puck line, you still won. This Wild Blues game, there was nothing strong to go off of there. I thought that was a stay-away game. And Jets Coyotes, this one surprised me a little bit too, because Winnipeg Jets equals 61. Coyotes, if they would have lost, they would have stayed at 61 points against the Winnipeg Jets. But again, anytime a team's already sitting on the number, so the Coyotes came in with 61 points and faced the Winnipeg Jets, it's never as strong. You can't be as confident about that pick as if, for example, the Coyotes came in with 59 points and were going for their 61st over the Winnipeg Jets. It's always trickier when they're already on the number. So the other thing about this game too is the Jets could have got their 38th win on a 38-date numerology. So there was another factor there. So yeah, this game was a little bit of a surprise. The two that surprised me here the most were the Blackhawks and the Jets game. These two had good, strong reads, and they came out. So not the best in the NHL yesterday, but see if we can improve it today. Let's go to the NBA. Let me check the chat here, just make sure anybody's got anything to say before we get moving. But we got a lot of NBA games to go through. Well, Frabru, you're right about that. Picking favorites doesn't, but that's why, like, if you took the puck line for the Ottawa Senators, that would have paid decent because they would have covered the spread and they were a heavy underdog. Be Fearless makes a great observation. He says the Jets loss probably means they get the 38th against Minnesota because Minnesota equals 38. I'd bet you're right about that. Okay, I'm just checking the comments here. I didn't know how close the Philadelphia game was, but wow. Hopefully Dakota Manning's still alive because he said he bet $10,000 on that game. So I'm sure he did have a heart attack. All right. Today, Monday, February 25th, it's the 133rd day of the NBA season. And hold on, I'm just having I don't believe that's a prime number. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it's not. Okay, it's not. Okay, so it's the 133rd day of the NBA season. It's the 146th of the NHL. Today's date numerology, 66. 66 has a relationship with 33. We talked about this earlier this year with the Indiana college basketball team. I forget who they upset, but they were going for their 66 series win. I believe it was a 66 date. And that game went to overtime, 66-66, and then Indiana won in overtime. Maybe they beat Michigan State. I think that's what it was. They beat Michigan State at home. So anyway, 33-66. There was some 33 piece in that game too. But there is a relationship with 33 and 66 when you write out 33 at 66. So I'm going to pay attention to 33s today. We have 39 date numerology and 21. So these are our strong date numerology methods. These are our weaker methods, which seem to matter more in series records and not so much in immediate season win-loss records. Okay, so I got to implant that in my head because still oftentimes when I see it, I just want to go with it and I get burned as much as I don't. It's the 25th. And it's also the 56th day of the year, leaving 309 days remaining. So, first NBA game, what stands out to me is the Warriors are playing in Charlotte, which is Steph Curry's hometown. His father used to play for the Hornets, Del Curry. We just saw Steph Curry lose in the three-point competition and lose in the All-Star game in his hometown. I wonder if that might be a little bit of foreshadowing for what could happen today. Because I see right away that the Hornets can get that 21st home win, and they are a considerable underdog at home against the Warriors. Of course, they have a sub-500 record, which is why. But that 21st home win today is standing out in a big way to me. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. So 28-28, dead even. They've played each other 56 times. We got the 56th day of the year. I don't believe that number corresponds with either team. Charlotte Hornets is 231, the 21st triangular number. Charlotte Hornets is also 201, kind of like 21. Charlotte's got the 39. We got the 39 date. Warriors. Let me check Charlotte NC too real quick. 61 the 18th prime. Warriors could get their 18th loss on the season in Charlotte NC. It's interesting, both teams are 28-28, and the Hornets have 28 wins on the season coming into this game. Let's look at the standings here. Let's just see what the non-conference standings are. So Charlotte, 21-18 in the conference, which means they're 7-13 outside of the conference. I don't think that factors into today. The Warriors are 16-5 outside of the conference. Doesn't really factor into today either. I think if I'm betting on this game, I'm taking the Hornets to cover the points. I think that's the best bet here. They have a real good shot at that 21st home win, and I don't see anything necessarily lining up for the Warriors. Other than here, I'm going to look at the Warriors next game to see who they play next. Miami Heat. So Miami Heat 43. The Warriors could get their next win. Their next win's their 43rd. It could be over the Heat in their next game. So that's also interesting. That game's on the day that has the relationship with the pi mathematics, 227, 22 divided by 7 pi. Steph Curry, Mr. Pi. So I think Hornets have a good shot here. Something to consider, though, is that the Warriors could win tonight and go into Miami with 43 wins already. Either that or they pick up the 43rd against Miami. So, again, I would take the Hornets to cover. I think the Hornets got a good chance to win this game. And with 8.5 points, definitely proves the odds of taking the bet. Yeah, and yeah, that 28 head-to-head. All right, let's look at the Blazers and the Cavs. Now, I made a comment about how I expect the Cavs home record to get to 9-23, 23 the ninth prime. 9-23. If you're new here, you probably haven't heard me talk about this before, but do you remember years ago when there was a train crash in Philadelphia? Um, it was I believe it was God, was it the first or second time? It was either the first or the second time the Warriors and Cavs met in the NBA Finals. Might have been the first time. And LeBron James that same summer had a movie coming out called Trainwreck. That whole train wreck was a hoax, but they said it crashed at 9:23 p.m. It was the first time the Warriors and Cavs met in the finals because the Cavs lost that year. But they said the train wreck was at 9:23. Earlier this year, the Cavs got their 9th win and kept the Lakers at 23 wins, I believe, when they upset the Lakers. I think that game was in Los Angeles. So anyway, this 923 thing is also a number that's relevant to LeBron, and we've seen plenty of Cavs riddles this year, even without LeBron there. Plus, remember the LeBron Lakers played their first game this season against the Blazers, and that was a King James riddle. So I'm thinking the Cavs do go down to 9-23 tonight. For whatever reason, there's something going on with the Blazers and King James. I don't know if it's because they're the 33rd state. But anyway, I'm just seeing that 9-23 thing. That's making too much sense to me. And here, let's just see what the head-to-head is with these teams. For the record, in NBA history, the Buffalo Braves, who are now the Los Angeles Clippers, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers all joined the same NBA season. Those 3 teams joined in the off season together. All right, so this is going to be the second and final match. Yeah, Blazers or the Cavs are at 53 wins right now. Trail Blazers is 53. That doesn't really prove anything, but I just think that 9-23 thing definitely happens. I think it's all about LeBron, even though he's not there anymore. Okay, Pacers, Pistons. So two things stand out about the Pacers here, and they contradict each other. Detroit equals 41. Or no, not Detroit. Pistons, excuse me. Pistons equals 41. Pistons is 41. So I see that the Pacers could get their 41st loss. The Pistons could also get their 31st loss in this game. But the problem is that I see the Pacers can get that 21st loss as well on the 21 date numerology. So let's see what the head-to-head is here. Yeah, I don't see anything so much with the head-to-head. Nothing that really goes with today. Let's see. Pacers wasted the Pistons by how many points is that? 37? Yeah, 37. And then we know Pacers equals 37. So does Detroit. So we see why they beat them by 37 last time. That game would have been 59 days ago, or a span of 60. These teams must play at least once more. Twice more. Are they in the same division, these teams? Maybe they're in the same division. Yeah, okay, let's look at the division records here. All right, but they're going to play twice more. They're going to play again on 4-1. So that'll be a date with 44 numerology. Detroit's 44. Oh, and then they play 2 days later. Huh. Date with 26 numerology. Pacers 26. Okay, let's see. So the Pacers in the division 8-3. 8-3. We do have 39 date numerology. 9-3, 3-9. Okay. Pistons 4-5. Let me just check here. Pacers. Indiana Pacers is 84. They could fall to 8-4 in the division. Detroit. Pistons. Come back here and take a look again. All right. If the Pacers lose, their division record would be like their team Gematria. Indiana Pacers 84. Conference isn't going with the date. I think I got to wave the danger flag on this Pacers game. The thing to observe in this Pacers game. Oh, hold on. Let me. How you doing? Oh, it says call failed. All right, if you want to call back, I'll pick up. I don't know why it failed there. But I was going to say the thing to observe in this Pacers-Pistons game is, again, the last month with the NBA has been confusing. And I've been trying to determine what's more important lately, the date numerology or the team and city name Gematria. And it seems that lately it has been the team and city name Gematria. If the Pacers win tonight, that could be another drop in that bucket. Because, again, Pistons is 41-31. Pacers could get the 41st win. Pistons could get the 31st loss. But, again, the date numerology says Pacers could pick up their 21st loss too. So I would just shy away from that game. Spurs Nets. The first thing that stands out here is with a Spurs win, they stay at 21 away losses. Spurs equals 21. We have 21 date numerology. Let's yeah, Travis saw the 93 in the last game. I always want to jump on 93 too, but we saw the reason to think that the 84 could play as well, that 8-4. All right, Spurs Nets. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. '93rd game. Okay, Spurs equals 93. Wow, look at that. The Nets could stay at 21 wins. Spurs equals 93 and 21, just using the alphabetic order and alphabetic order and rules numerology. So I think we have a pretty good riddle here. This looks like a good riddle to me. 21 date, Spurs stay on 21 losses, Nets stay on 21 series wins. I think the Spurs are an okay pick here. Let's look at the records again. Is there anything else with these records? Just to play devil's advocate, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is Nets is 13, but if you use the rule for S, it's 22. The Spurs could pick up their 22nd away loss, but that 21 thing's playing stronger. Brooklyn. Nets. I don't see anything else, but the 21 riddle and the 93rd game, that makes me jump on the riddle. So I'm feeling the Spurs get it done there. Our Clay Center's 56. We have 56 date numerology. Let me see what the let me just see where the Spurs are in their road trip right now. Let's just see how deep they are on this road trip. So they just came off a loss to New York and Toronto. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they're deep on this road trip. Wow. Wow. Crazy road trip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the end of the road trip. The 8th road trip game. What's their record on this road trip? 1-6. 1-6. Something else. Yeah, I think even despite that, they're still going to get it done. So that 2193 thing's too much for me to overlook. If they stay on 6 losses on the road trip, when you add 1 through 6, it's also 21. Saturn is 26 in the septenary cipher. It's like how Saturn's 93 and 21 as well. Yeah, I'm sticking with the Spurs thing, even though they're on this deep, long road trip. Okay, Suns Heat. Nothing screaming out here about the date numerology. I don't see anything with the date Wait, was there a 51 date actually? Hold on. No, there wasn't. All right, let's see what the head-to-head is here. Miami's next win's the 29th. The Suns' next win's the 33rd. It's the last game between these teams this year. This game's coming 70 days later, or a span of 71 days. Miami's next win at home is the 27th. Probably a good game to get it in. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, well. It is interesting that Suns equals 26. The upset narrative here would be the Suns beating the Heat on the road. Is there any reason to believe that? Phoenix Suns. Oh, Phoenix Suns, what's interesting about them is it's the 56th day of the year, and it's the 133rd day of the NBA season. Miami Heat's also 56. How about that? Honestly, I would ignore that game. I don't trust the Suns at all. But just the fact that the numbers are there for a potential upset, it would just make me shy away from that game. Suns, though, where we've seen the Suns have great connections this year, time and time again, they haven't panned out. So they're just one of those games. I think when I see the Suns on the court, I just want to avoid the game. Yeah, but I'm reading your guys' comments in the chat. I mean, it is possible, but like I said, we've just seen too many things line up for the Suns this year and them not get it done. Remember the alignment they had against the Utah Jazz a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now? It was like the most amazing alignment ever, and then they got wasted. So I was like, okay, forget the Suns. Okay. So here's what I'm talking about with the – okay. So look, the Bucks can get the 46th win today, and this date numerology hasn't been panning out. But the thing about 46 is that's a big old Chicago number. So they can get their 46th win over Chicago. Chicago 46. Remember, they won their only Super Bowl with the revolutionary 4-6 defense, and they won with 46 points. And I also see the Bucks can get their 21st away win on the 21 date numerology. So this looks good here for the Bucks. The Bucks look good to get it done. Absolutely. We can just check the head-to-head just to be thorough. Milwaukee going for the 117th win. Bulls going for the 132nd. I don't think there's anything there with the date or the teams. 21 date numerology, 46th win in Chicago. I like that pick. I like that one. So I'm not going to overthink it. It looks good. Now, here's another team that I really hate this year, the Hawks. We've seen plenty line up for the Hawks and them not get it done. They're kind of like the Suns. But I do see that the major upset here would be for them to get their 21st win on the 21 date numerology. And I doubt anyone in Vegas is picking the Hawks to win. The Rockets can also get their 21st home win, so that cancels that out. Okay, Hawks going for both teams going for 77th win. Well, that doesn't help us out, but this game is in Houston, 77 land. We just saw the 77 riddle with Houston in college basketball this week. The opponent of the Houston team fell to 7-7 in their conference. Let me just double check, see if there's something here in the Gematria I'm missing. Atlanta Hawks. They're tied at 76 right now. Atlanta Hawks 76. Here's another prayer for the Hawks. Hawks is 17 in the most pure cipher. The rule with S is 26. I do see that the Rockets' next loss is their 26th, but it's probably more likely they stay on 25 losses on the 25th. Houston, is this factoring in? Rockets, that factoring in. Houston Rockets. It's funny, Houston Rockets and Atlanta Hawks are 76 and they're tied right now. Funny. Did they play already this year? No. Let me see when they play again. March 19th. That's the 78th day of the year. It'll be a date with 41 numerology, 61 numerology, 34. Yeah, Rockets probably get the win here tonight. So not really worth a pick. They're a big favorite. Yeah, probably just not a game to even waste your time with. And I really wouldn't waste your time with it because, again, there is a chance the Hawks upset. It's unlikely, but how mad would you be if you bet on the Rockets and the Hawks beat them? All right, Lakers, Grizzlies. Lakers, Grizzlies. Does anything stand out? What stands out is the 39. 39. We got the 39 date numerology. Grizzlies can get the 39th loss. So Lakers also happens to equal 21. Actually, you know what? Lakers equals 21 and 39 now that I think about it. So Lakers is 21. There's two letters that have rules in reduction gematria in Lakers. S can be 1 or 10. When you make it 10, Lakers becomes 30. K can be 2 or 11. So if you use the master numerology, here, just right here. Lakers, like that is 39. Okay, so this is making sense for the Grizzlies to get the 39th loss based on the opponent and the date. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. It's the 88th game. Lakers can get the 55th win. If only this was yesterday. Los Angeles does have Gematria 55. Memphis next wins their 34th. And Memphis is 34. Memphis is also 38. So here's the risk, them staying at 38 and picking up their 34th series win in Memphis. I still want to lead with that date numerology, even though I'm still trying to figure out if things are getting back on track here with the NBA. Let's see. Grizzlies. Let's see. It's the 60th game. See here what the conference standings are. Lakers can get their 21st conference win, 21 date numerology. And Grizzlies don't really have the alignment there. So the date numerology says Lakers got the numbers here. Date numerology is favorable for the Lakers. Memphis. See. Got X form. I just want to check the stadium real quick. X form. Yeah, I got to give the Lakers the edge. Even though the date numerology, it looked good. I always hate there's something up with the NBA on Saturday. I swear to God, the NBA's never made sense on Saturday. But before we got to Saturday, things were looking good. The games we did since the All-Star break and date numerology was coming through. So I'm gonna assume that the pattern that we saw for all the years that we did this until recently, but since coming back from the All-Star break, that the date numerology is going to play. And based on that, I'm giving the Lakers the edge in this game. Frabru, I said I'll start doing some live streams for primetime games, and I will do that. But I just have to get this book done that I'm working on. So that's coming. Maybe we'll do that like as a weekly thing, a Sunday thing. Sunday seems like a good day to do it. The big game for a Sunday. Or if there's a bigger game in the week, we can do that too. But yeah, I'll absolutely start doing that. Okay. Just for anyone who got here late, so far what we're looking at for games, Hornets, we believe, have a chance to upset the Warriors. I would take the points for the Hornets. I expect the Cavs to become 9-23 at home, 23 the ninth prime. These are LeBron James numbers. There's LeBron riddles that carry through both these teams. Obviously, with the Cavs, LeBron played his first game with the Lakers against the Blazers. This Pacers-Detroit game I would stay away from. We can make an argument either way. Spurs equals 93-21. This is the 93rd series game. If the Nets lose, they stay at 21 wins in the series. The Spurs stay at 21 away losses. And today has 21 date numerology. So the danger with the Spurs is it's the 8th game of a road trip that they've done very bad on. They're 1-6 on this road trip. But the numbers say the Spurs got a good chance tonight. Suns Heat, I'd stay away from it. Bucks should pick up the 46th win in Chicago. Chicago 46 and the 21 away win on the 21 date numerology. Rockets Hawks, I'd stay away from it. Lakers. Today has 39 date numerology. Grizzlies can pick up the 39th loss. And Lakers have the 39 Gematria. And what was it? The Grizzlies. Oh, that's not what it was. Oh, it was the standings. The Lakers can pick up their 21st conference win on a 21 date numerology. So two new date numerologies make sense here. So Lakers over Grizzlies, and that gets us to where we are right now. Kings, Timberwolves. Kings, Timberwolves. Unfortunately, nothing's popping out with the date numerology here. Let's see. "114th series game, Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 114. We saw this work out well for them earlier this year. The problem here, though, that I'm seeing is the Kings can get the 56th win on the 56th day of the year. So that makes things a little dicey. These teams are in the same conference, but not division, correct? Yeah, okay. Different divisions. So the Timberwolves, nothing's jumping out with their conference record. Same with the Kings. They got the same conference record. Okay. Kings is 30. Sacramento Kings, 61, the 18th prime. Now, I did see that the Timberwolves could get their 18th conference win. Sacramento's also 109. Sacramento's also 109, the 29th prime. The Timberwolves could get their 29th win. So the opponent is right for the win record in the conference and overall on the season. But the one thing, though, that's concerning me is just that the Kings can get that 56th win here on the 56th day of the year. Ugh, I didn't see that. But again, it's the 114th series match, too. Notice Minneapolis, Minnesota's 237, and the over-under's right there at 237. The Timberwolves have the better narrative here, that's for sure. They got the better narrative, but the Kings have that one narrative on the board, which makes me nervous. If they lose, they stay at 55 wins in the Target Center. So I'll let you make the choice on that one. I think the Timberwolves do have the better narrative, but man, that one riddle for the Kings just makes me a little gun shy. Pistons got their 55th series win on the 55th day. Was that yesterday? So you're saying yesterday? Are you talking about the Red Wings? The Red Wings stayed at 55 series wins yesterday and 55 points. Oh, wait, you're here. You must be talking about those Pistons Pacers. No, hold on. What are you talking about? Pistons got their 55th series win on the 55th day. Oh, 54th on the 54th day? Hey, caller.
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, man.
Okay. Yeah, I just had a couple points, man. First off, I know you said this game, what scares you is about the 56 and it's the 56th day of the year or whatever. But you just think that with the Washington when you like them on the 53rd day of the year and that didn't come through. So why would you like them today?
No, you make a good point there. But still, sometimes these riddles play out. We just saw it play out yesterday in college basketball. In NHL yesterday, the Red Wings stayed on 55 points and 55 series wins on the 55th day of the year. So it's one of those riddles that doesn't hit every time, but it's still something you got to consider.
I got you. I see.
I should also point out, though, that this game's in Minneapolis, and Minneapolis equals 55, just like Target Center. So there's good reason to believe that they stay on 55 in this game. Minnesota does have the better narrative. If you were filling Minnesota before you heard me say that, I mean, just stick to your guns. I do think it's likely they win.
Right. No, I'm just trying to figure like you trying to figure out the NBA. I'm trying to figure it out too, and we got it, but it's still like a couple components that we're missing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that's all I'm trying to do is get to the trying to just get it on track because I noticed too this game. If you look at it, they got the same records, and that's another way that you can add to your way of decoding. Like if we would have seen, if you look ahead, you see how the records how they sync up.
You're talking about the conference record, 17 and 22?
No. I'm talking about how the head, how if you just look at their records,
their reflections.
Yeah, and it's so like baseball do it a million times a season. It's so many times. Well, the team comes together and they got the same record. Either it's the same losses or it's the same win. It might be a reflection. It happens too many times, and that's why I'm saying if you can like look ahead and start looking at that. And putting that in the decode too. You see what I'm saying? Because
sure,
if
absolutely.
We would have knew that the Kings would have had that would have been an upset game for OKC. So we'd have liked the Kings, and we would have liked because look, the Clippers. Another thing too with the Clippers beat Memphis and got their 33rd win. If you look at the Lakers' record, it's still going to be 33 with the 30 and 30. So they doing it against Memphis. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just riddles. And another thing I like too, with Portland, I know you like Portland today, but if you peep, Portland, they just started a road trip. That's 3-0, and then off the All-Star break. If they beat Cleveland, that's 3-0. And if Boston lose tomorrow against Toronto, they 0-3. And then what I was just telling you about, the 37. It'll be Portland with 37 wins, and Boston had the 37 wins. And then not only that, their record might not be the same, but it's going to be like the same losses or the same wins. You see what I'm saying? So if you look ahead to the Portland and Boston, after Boston plays Toronto, they play Portland. They'll both have 37 wins, and Portland will be 3-0 off the break, and Boston will be 0-3. It's just, I feel like if you look ahead more, it'll help you with today's games.
You're right. No, you're right about that. You're 100% right about that. So, yeah, you're making great points.
I don't want to be too long, man. I just had those points, man. If you could just start looking at that and see if the records sync up, and that can give us, whatever.
Yeah, you're making great points. Great call.
All right, I appreciate it, Zach.
All right, yeah, take care. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we really should always look ahead. I do it sometimes, but it should be something that we check for each game. So about the 29 thing, again, Sacramento equals 109, the 29th prime. I don't know how that number connects to the Timberwolves or Minnesota or Minneapolis, but I do believe the Timberwolves have the better narrative here. And them staying at 55 in Minneapolis. Remember what we just saw in the Patriots' 10th Super Bowl? The Patriots became 5-5 in their 10th Super Bowl in Minneapolis, and it was number 55 for the Eagles who put the game away with the sack fumble. So 55 definitely plays there. All right, let's just see who they play next. All right, they play the Hawks next. The Hawks don't necessarily factor into those numbers. Is that game in Atlanta? The only thing that I could just think of, that could go against the Timberwolves is if they lost this game and they lost in Atlanta. Atlanta's 33 land. They could pick up their 33rd loss. But it's not necessarily the way it'll go. So Hawks is also 28. They could go into the Hawks game with 28 wins, but let's see who the Kings play. Kings play the Bucks next. If the Kings lose this game and they lose to the Bucks, they stay at 31 wins. 31's the 11th prime. So, yeah, sometimes you can get a good read on the next game, but not always as helpful as you want it to be. I would still just say for this immediate game, the Timberwolves have more riddles on the board. The one thing for the Kings is picking up that 56 series win on the 56th date, which, as the last caller said, doesn't always hit. He's absolutely right about that. So that's why I say the Timberwolves got the better riddle here. 76ers. What jumps out right away is we got the 39 date numerology. They can get that 39th win, and that date numerology is strong. Okay, let's see. What's the head-to-head here? "36th game, Pelicans lead 18-17. Well, what I think of right away with both teams potentially being at 18 is that Philadelphia is 61, the 18th prime. That's the first thing that stands out. That would also keep the Pelicans at 18 home wins. Let's see here. New Orleans. It's not factoring in, is it? Pelicans have that double connection to 79. New Orleans Pelicans is 79. Pelicans is 79, the 22nd prime. Philadelphia could stay at 22 losses, pick up the 39th win on the 39 day. And oh, it's also the 76ers 61st game of the season. So that's one more for the 61, the 18th prime thing to even it up at 18. So, yeah, I got to ride with the 76ers there. They got the date numerology, and the 18 riddle makes more sense. So, is he saying that possible revenge narrative because the T-Wolves blew him out last time? Yeah, I like the 39 date numerology here. I like the date numerology, and I don't see any read for the Pelicans really. I don't see what it is. Is that Wara 18-12 thing still going on too? Because the Pelicans can fall to 18 and 12. Okay, Mavericks. Just for my own curiosity, you guys, as I say that, I'm just thinking about how Philadelphia and New Orleans played in the playoffs and the flag and the War of 18-12. What day was that game? Saints, Eagles, playoff, box score. You know the leagues are all synced up. January 13th. So 43 days ago or a span of 44 days. Football's 43. Oh, Saints is 44 too. Oh. Okay, just wanted to think about it. But yeah, I like the 76ers. The 39 thing. Mavericks, Clippers. So the upset narrative here is the Clippers getting their 13th home loss against Dallas. Dallas is 13. LA's 13. That's the upset narrative on the surface. What's the conference standings here? Dallas, nothing really standing out. Clippers could stay on 21 conference wins if they got upset. That would help the Lakers. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. So this is the fourth and final game this year. Dallas, wow, Dallas leads 2-1. That means that if Dallas won, they would lead 3-1. Or from LA's perspective, they'd be 1-3, kind of like 13. Dallas 13, LA 13. Okay. When was the last time they played? January 22nd. So they last played 34 days ago. With regards to them last playing 34 days ago, both teams could end up with a 34. Clippers could get the 34th win. Mavs 34th loss. Let's look at the gematria here real quick. Mavericks. It's the 60th game for the Mavs and the 62nd for the Clippers. There are 26 on the board. Dallas Mavericks. Clippers. Well, it's not a super strong read. Because there's nothing to support it with the date numerology. Again, staying on the numbers never as powerful as going into it. But the Clippers with a loss would stay on 21 wins in the conference on a 21 date. And again, it's just that 13 on the board that makes me believe Dallas has a chance to get that upset there. So take a look at the next game here real quick. Yeah, caller.
Yep. Just got off the phone with you, Zach. It's the same thing. If you look ahead, who the Clippers play next, it's the Jazz, and they already had 33 wins. So there you go again with two teams on the same thing. If you just look next, and it don't always happen, but most of the time it is. It's just like that, and to give you a better read.
Sure. They do like to pair those numbers. I agree.
And especially that 33. And another thing too, I don't know if you can try to find something with the Memphis, because I look, Spurs are struggling on their road trip, and the only game they did win was Memphis, and that was to get their 33rd win. So that was Memphis, Clippers got their 33 win, and then the Lakers can become 30 and 30. So if you can do a little homework extra tonight, or see if Memphis have a 33.
They do. They do. It's Tennessee. Tennessee's 137, the 33rd prime.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay. See. Okay. So I'm just learning. Okay.
Something I see here for the Mavericks next game. The Mavericks next game is against the Pacers, and Pacers is 26. And that's a big number with that team. So I'm seeing how the Mavericks could stay on 26 wins and face the Pacers too.
Wow. See, yep. You just look ahead sometimes. It's just give it to you right there. Especially when you do the Gematria, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah. It's
all right, appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So if the Mavs lose, then they do face the Pacers with 26 wins. Let's think about the Clippers record facing the Jazz. Jazz is 63, and their 63rd game is going to be against the Jazz. Is that game at home? No, it's on the road. It's their road record. They're 16 and 12. That means they're 17 and 16 on the road. So what I'm just thinking for the next game against the Clippers against the Jazz is it's their 63rd game, and they could get their 18th road win against the Jazz, and Jazz has that double connection to 18. So Clippers might be a good pick there against the Jazz. Of course, we'll cover it when it comes around, but it doesn't exactly tell us what their record's going to be going into that game. And then with the Mavs, though, if they lose, they face the Pacers with 26 wins. And Pacers in the most pure cipher is 26. So yeah. You know what else? You know what else, you guys? If the Mavericks lose tonight, they'll have 34 losses, right? Their record will be 26 and 34. We just saw the Pacers do this to somebody. Indiana's 34. Pacers is 26. So their record will be 26 and 34 to face the Pacers. So I do got to favor the Clippers here. I'm thinking that makes more sense for the Mavericks to go in with that that record. I'm just thinking it through. I'm also just thinking, okay, if the Mavericks, because that 13 on the board still just makes me go, man, but could they get it? Because Dallas is that 13 city. If the Mavericks did win tonight, I think that would give them a real strong chance to lose against the Pacers, pick up that 34th loss in Indiana. So, but yeah, if they lose, they'll go into Indiana with the absolute perfect record. Again, let's run through the NBA games. Warriors, Hornets. If I'm betting on this game, I'm betting on the Hornets to cover. The reason why is we got 21 date numerology. Hornets can get the 21st home win. And we just saw Steph Curry losing the three-point competition and losing the All-Star game in Charlotte, which is his home city. So I'm just wondering, is that foreshadowing for what's going to happen here tonight? So I'd take the points for the Hornets. No guarantee they win, but 8.5 is quite a few points, and there is a reason to believe that they can get the upset. Blazers should make the Cavs 9 and 23. And again, this is a LeBron James number 923. We saw LeBron play his first game with the Lakers against the Blazers. Of course, he played for the Cavs. I'm just feeling that 9-23 thing. And I mentioned that days ago, too. I said I expect the Cavs to be 9-23 at home. So sticking with my guns there. I'm staying away from the Pacers and Pistons. If Pistons lose, the Pacers will get their 41st win and the Pistons will get their 31st loss. Pistons does equal 41 and 31. But the problem is we have the 21 date numerology, and the Pacers could get their 21st loss. You know what else? The Pacers' next game is against Dallas, right? The next Pacers game is against Dallas, and that would be a great team for them to get their 41st win against. Dallas is 41. So it's and then again, it's also possible that they win and face Dallas with 41 wins already. So it's just too iffy. It's too iffy on this one. I would really stay away from it. Spurs, they've done horrible on this road trip. They're 1-6. This is the 8th and final game. The thing about this game is it's the 93rd game between these teams. Spurs equals 93 and 21. If they win tonight, they stay at 21 losses on the 21 date, and they keep the Nets at 21 wins all time in the series. So I'm guessing your veteran gamblers looking and going, oh, the Spurs are getting killed on this road trip. They probably lose this one too. And again, 1-6 on that road trip. So they could fall to 1-7. With a win, they're 2-6. And the thing about 26 is it has that relationship with Saturn like 93 and 21. So I'm riding with the 21 in the Spurs game. The 93rd series match. I think the Spurs get it done. Suns Heat. I just stay away from it. I would stay away. The Suns are this unpredictable team. When things line up for them, they don't win. They win games you don't expect them to. If you're the kind of guy that got to make a pick, Miami does equal 27. It's probably likely Miami picks up their 27th win in their home city over the lowly Suns, but I just stay away. Bucks, they can get their 46th win tonight. Chicago equals 46, and they can get their 21st away win on the 21 date numerology. I like this pick. I don't see anything there for the Bulls. So Bucks look good. Hawks Rockets, we got two teams that have a chance at 21. Hawks are another wild card team. Whoever wins the next game gets the 77th win in the series. Houston equals 77. It probably is the Rockets, but look, they're a big favorite. It doesn't pay out much. I would just stay away from this game just in case the Hawks upset, because then you'll be angry. Let's see who the Rockets play next real quick. Rockets schedule, Hornets. Okay, you know what? Hornets is 36 and 36. What a great team for the Rockets to get their 36th win against. They'd have to win tonight and then win the next one. So, yeah, Rockets probably do win, but 12-point favorite. It's not going to be a great payout. Here. For these other games that I said were, let me just double check here. He play the Warriors next. Yeah, I can't defer anything from that. Yeah, real quick, I just want to look at everybody's game ahead real fast. Make sure. Let's play the Wizards. Pistons. Hard to say. Okay, coming back to games that we do like. Lakers can give the Grizzlies their 39th loss on the 39-date numerology. Lakers does equal 39. And I believe the Lakers can get their the Lakers can get their 21st conference win on the 21-date numerology as well. So I do like the Lakers. That would make them 30-30, as the caller said, kind of like 3-3, like 33. Tennessee's 137, the 33rd prime. Kings, Timberwolves. Timberwolves have a number of riddles that stack in their favor. The one thing for the Kings is they can get their 56th series win on the 56th day of the year. If I had to pick one of these two teams, though, I'd go with the Timberwolves. But you know what I say? I always hate when you can make the riddle either way. If the Kings stay at 55 wins, remember Minneapolis is 55, so is Target Center where they play. Sacramento equals 109, the 29th prime. Good team for the Timberwolves to get their 29th win against. So 76ers Pelicans. I like the 39-date numerology. I think that plays today. 76ers get that 39th win. Remember, Pelicans can fall to 18-12. The War of 1812 ended in New Orleans. And this Clippers-Mavericks game, it's I'd probably just shy away from this one. Just the fact that Dallas can give them their 13th home loss and Dallas equals 13, it just makes me too nervous. I think the Clippers have the better riddle looking at the next games for both teams. But still, just that 13th home loss makes me anxious. So there's a few games in the NBA tonight that I think are you can have a good amount of confidence in. Bucks over Bulls is probably not the greatest payout, but the number alignments there, it's good. Lakers should get it done, and I think the 76ers too. So those are the games I'd probably lead with. Riskier pick. Oh, the Trailblazers over the Cavs is a good pick too, I think. Probably not a great payout, but I think it's a good pick. And probably the riskiest pick tonight that would pay out well is the Hornets covering against the Warriors. Or if you want to be real ballsy, you can go money line, but I think there's reason to believe they can get that 21st win on the 21 date. Okay, let's do college basketball, and then we'll do NHL. All right. Florida State, Notre Dame. We only got two games here. Just what's standing out right away about that Florida State game, who's a big favorite, is we got 21-date numerology. So they're facing Notre Dame, 9-5 in the ACC. Notre Dame's 95. Let's see here. Be the 9th game. Either team, they're tied 4-4. That doesn't help us. Let's check here. Aim. Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish is 73, the 21st prime as well. Let's see about Seminoles. Seminoles 39. We got the 39 date. Florida State. Seminoles. It is on ESPN, the Upset Network. Let me double check with the Tallahassee Gematria here real quick. Tallahassee 31, the 11th prime. Tallahassee, Florida, 111 like Seminoles. Florida does have the Gematria 43, the 14th prime. Notre Dame won, they would be 14-14. There's a little reason to believe that there's an upset here. Staying at 21 wins on the 21 date. Fighting Irish was 73. The 21st prime. Let's look at the Odd Shark real quick. Let's see what these teams have done against each other in recent times. So they like the Seminoles in a big way here. Number 18, Florida State Seminoles begin their final homestand of the season as they welcome the reeling Notre Dame Fighting Irish to the Tucker Center. Florida State had its 8-game winning streak snapped in its last game, falling to the number 8 North Carolina on Saturday, while Notre Dame had its losing streak extended to 3 games with its loss to the number 20 Virginia Tech on Saturday. The Irish have won the last 3 meetings with the Seminoles, but are a 12.5-point underdog tonight's game. So they've won the last 3. That thing about 8-8 against the Tar Heels, the 8-game streak, the 8 seed, Tar Heels 88. We just saw them beat Duke with 88 points. Comical. Those were easy calls this weekend for both of these games, but now that they face each other, this game's interesting. This game is interesting. God, I didn't see it. There wasn't anything there with the 96, was there? Oh, what's the name of where they play? Donald L. Tucker Center, but they called it the Tucker Center too. Tucker Center is 73, the 21st prime. Donald L. Tucker Center is 79, the 22nd prime. If you want to do a little extra homework on this game, just think about some other things. It might be worth taking Notre Dame to cover the spread here. It's all about this 21. So, Kansas State, Kansas. Well, what do I see here right away? Both teams can be at 21 wins. That stands out big. All right, let me see. 176th game. This is modern era. So Kansas leads 118-57. Tight. So all time, it's 196-94. Let me just check the Kansas State. Jayhawks. Wildcats. Wait, I typed in the wrong thing, didn't I? Kansas State Wildcats, that's what it is. Wildcats. Kansas Jayhawks. Jayhawks. I got to go with the date numerology, the 2121 thing on the 21 date numerology. The only thing that I'm just thinking about is if Kansas State won, they'd be 22-6, and that would be their record in the papers tomorrow on February 26, 22/6. I guess that's true for Florida State as well. But the date numerology is 21, evening it up at 21-21. That seems to be the more consistent call. College basketball has been real good about the date numerology overall. So, and Saturday was the latest proof of that. Let's check in the stadium location here. The other thing about Kansas getting their 10th win today is that we have the 39 date numerology, and 10 has the strong relationship with 39. So I should mention about Florida State that's something that needs to be said about Florida State. If you're considering betting on that upset, Seminoles is 39 date numerology. They could also get their 10th conference win today. But again, the 21 thing. Tucker Center is 73, Fighting Irish is 73, the 21st prime. They could stay there. So if I'm betting on Notre Dame, I'm betting on them to cover. If I'm betting on this game, I'm betting on Kansas to get it done against Kansas State. So following the 21s. NHL. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we want Monday. Okay, so right away, again, our date numerology today is 66, 39, 21. These are the methods that matter. If we see a series record where somebody can get the 46th series win, that's been playing for series records. It's the 25th and it's the 56th day of the year. So I see the Sabres are on 66 points. It's always a crapshoot if a team's going to stay on those points on the date numerology. We saw it yesterday with Detroit. They stayed on 55 points and 55 series wins on the 55th day of the year. But here, let's look at the head-to-head here. Buffalo Sabres versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Sabres can get their 25th loss on the 25th. That's the Maple Leafs can get their 21st loss on 21 date numerology. Okay, we're gonna have to look at this. $212th game. I know Toronto Blue Jays equals 212. The Sabres have 115 wins, and the Maple Leafs have 78 all time, 69 in regulation plus 9 more in overtime. So Buffalo has done well against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, let's see here. Sabres. Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo Sabres is 80. And notice the Maple Leafs can get their 80th points. With a win, they get to 80 points. Buffalo Sabres 80. Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs. All right, I got to give the edge to the Maple Leafs here. The fact they can get the 80th points, perfect opponent to do it against. Let me make sure my typing was right. Buffalo Sabres. They can get the 80th points, perfect opponent. That would keep the Sabres on 66 points on a 66 date numerology, give them their 25th loss on the 25th. The one concern, though, is the Maple Leafs could get their 21st loss on 21 date numerology. But the way I count, more things line up for the Maple Leafs there. So I don't know about a talent scout, Miss Mildred. That's something I've never explored. Okay, Canadians, Devils. So just on the surface, Devils can get that 25th loss, or excuse me, 25th win on the 25th. Let's look at what it is here. Canadians. This will be the 157th game. It's the 37th prime. They can get, the Canadians can get the 78th win. The Devils can get their 70th all-time win. Let's see here. It's the 157th game. We just said that. The 37th prime. And I'm noticing Devils is 37. Is there anything there with the points? The Devils could also stay at 56 points on the 56th day of the year. We saw Detroit do this yesterday. Okay. Sure I'm not overlooking anything. How about from the other way? Canadians is 56 too. So they could stay on 56 points against the Canadians on the 56th day of the year. Montreal Canadians. Montreal's 46. We got 46 date numerology. Okay, so again, you can't be real confident about this scenario. Just like yesterday, Winnipeg Jets is 61. We saw a team that had 61 points. They were facing the Winnipeg Jets. They could have stayed on 61 points. But yesterday didn't have a 61 date numerology connection. That's the difference. But I'm just making the point. The team that faced the Winnipeg Jets that already had 61 points, they won and they got their 63rd points. So the difference here is Canadians is 56, and today's the 56th day of the year. So I think that gives I'd give the Canadians the edge here. Just the one concern is the Devils could pick up their 25th win on the 23rd 5th of the month. So got to favor the Canadians, though, just because it's the Gematria and the date. We saw the Red Wings stay on 55 points and 55 series wins on the 55th day of the year. So Dakota's looking at, I imagine those are goalies. And again, I'm going to say what I said before. The goalies have been burning me more often than they've been helping me. So I don't like the goalies. I don't like the goalies. Okay, Lightning, Kings. I don't see anything with the date numerology on the surface. I thought Dakota Manning was going to retire from gambling after this weekend. He should be a rich man right now. Let's see. Let's see. Kings Lightning. What is it? 39th game. So we're on the 39 date numerology. 39th game. Tampa Bay going for their 24th win. Kings going for their 14th all-time win. All right, let's see. Lightning's 100. They can get their 100th points at home here. Nothing else is jumping out about that, though. Tampa Bay. Lightning. Los Angeles. Kings. St. Louis Kings. Hold on, let me check one more time. There's nothing definitive to go off of in this game, and the Lightning have been red hot. They're one of the best teams in the NHL. I mean, I imagine they win. They get their 100th points, Lightning 100, but there's nothing that really goes with the date here today, and there's nothing that really syncs up with the city gematria. So, oh, hold on, is there something I overlooked? Ah, I do see it. Okay, I see it. Almost overlooked it. Tampa Bay's 137, the 33rd prime, and the Kings can get their 33rd loss. So, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Zach, real quick on the Tampa Bay game tonight.
Right.
I know you moved on. I was just doing a quick decode on it. This is the Tampa Bay Lightning's 26th season. And this is also the NHL 101st playing season. And 101 is the 26th prime number.
Right.
So I don't know if you did any decodes on who's going to maybe win the cup this year, but that was just a nice clue. They were formed in 1992. This is their 26th season.
and this is the 101st season. Their nickname, just for future reference, is the Bolts. BOLTS, like lightning bolts.
Right.
So if you need that, to throw into your Decode for them. So I just found that kind of interesting. And then real quick on LeBron James. LeBron James, the last time the Lakers were in the playoffs was 2012 to 2013. Interestingly, that's the year that Kobe Bryant tore up his Achilles tendon against Utah. They did make the playoffs that year, the Lakers. And what they did, which is very interesting, at the All-Star break or there sometime around, they were 29 wins and 30 losses, just like the Lakers are at this juncture, 29 and 30. The Lakers went on to go finish 45 and 37. So they went 16 to 7 in their last 3 games or so, and they made the playoffs in the last game of the season, and that was against the Houston Rockets. Okay, and interestingly enough, they were 3.5 games back at that point. Right now, the Lakers are 3 games back of the playoff spot. So just want to throw that in, and hopefully you can maybe do some decodes on possibly the championship for the basketball as well as the hockey.
Well,
exactly.
I appreciate it. What you just said about the 16 and 7, that's a bit like 167, the 39th prime, and we were talking about the Lakers in 39 today. So appreciate it.
You got it, kid.
All right,
ciao.
Keep it up. Okay, but yeah, that 33rd loss against Tampa Bay 137, the 33rd prime. We were talking about how Tennessee equals 137, and we keep seeing the 33 riddles with Tennessee. So yeah, it makes sense for the Kings to get that 33rd loss in Tampa Bay. Probably not a great payout. One of the best versus mediocre, but probably pretty safe. All right, Predators, Oilers. Is anything here with our date numerology? I am not seeing it. Again, I'm not counting this 27. Maybe in a series record, but all right, Predators. Let's see. Edmonton, 37. So it is a good team to get the 37th win against for Nashville. Nashville can get that 37th win over Edmonton. Edmonton Oilers. Should I go with our points? Oh, wait. Okay. The only concern here is that Oilers is 78. With an overtime loss, the Predators would be at 78 points. But I'm thinking that 37th win is more pure. Thinking the 37th win is more pure. Let's see. I just realized that when I typed in Edmonton Oilers, there were 2. What in the world? What's going on here? Oh, that was okay. That was like the discontinued franchise. Okay. Edmonton Oilers, Nashville Predators. 74th game. So they have 28 wins. Nashville has 43 all time, counting the overtime wins. They can stay at 27 in the series on this date that has the 27. Again, I've seen these numbers matter more with series than immediate season records. Let's see here. Nashville's 39 date numerology. Predators. Predators 44. They're going for that 44th win. I think the Predators got the better riddle here. The one thing for the Oilers is with an overtime win, it would put them at the Predators at 78 points and Oilers at 78. But I like that 37th win over Edmonton. So. I just took a look at the chat. I don't know how this happened, but funny. All right. Oilers, Predators. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that 37th win. Panthers, Avalanche. The only thing I see here is Panthers on 25 losses on the 25th day of the month for the date. Okay. Avalanche equals 67. I know this. We've seen these 67 riddles playing out with the Avalanche. They can get their 67th points tonight. Are the Panthers a good team to do it against? Let's see. Panthers. All right, Florida Panthers. Colorado. 38s are all over the board on this game tonight. Colorado. Avalanche. All right. Let's see here. "41st game. The Avalanche have 24 wins, meaning they can get their 25th today on the 25th. And the Panthers have 13. So let me see what the Avalanche's next game's against. Canucks. The thing about this Canucks game is it's on a date with 67 numerology. They play the Canucks on a date with 67 numerology their next game, February 27th. Do they walk into that game with 67 points, or do they earn it in that game? Let me see. See what the record is against the Canucks. 164th game, 74 wins. Wow, 74 to 74. Is that right? Huh. Well, that makes things a little bit tricky. The fact that they could get their 67th points in their next home game. So maybe because look, I mean, it's the 25th. If the Panthers get the win tonight, they stay at 25. The Avalanche get their 25th loss. But the thing was, the Avalanche could also get their 25th series win on the 25th today. So I think this game's a little dangerous. Okay, I'm going to skip that game just because of what we see for the riddle here down the road. Well, hold on. Let me see one more thing. Canucks. Vancouver Canucks. Nah. I see it for sure. I'll tell you what, if the Colorado Avalanche lose this game, they're definitely winning the next one. So you can also you could take that kind of betting mentality if you want to take the risk on the Avalanche tonight. You know, whatever your bet is tonight, just match it next time. At worst case scenario, you break even. So that's another strategy. It's a chance they win tonight, but again, it's risky there. If they lose tonight, you know you got a good bet next game. Okay. Ducks, Canucks. Canucks have been disappointing lately. Remember, Ducks equals 58. We just saw a team pick up their 58th points against the Ducks. If the Ducks lost in overtime, they'd be at 58 points. I see they have a chance at their 25th win. Let's see here. Anaheim Ducks. All right. 109th game, the 29th prime. I see that the Canucks could get the 29th loss and the Ducks could stay at 29 losses. So it's the 109th game, the 29th prime. That's important. The Ducks are going for their 51st win. The Canucks have 39 wins in regulation and 49 counting the overtime wins. All right, let's see here. Anaheim's 39 as well. 39 date. Anaheim Ducks. 71 the 20th prime. Anaheim Ducks is 109 as well. Look at that. 109 the 29th prime, and it's the 109th series game. Ducks is 58, like I said. We just saw the 58. We've seen, I mean, we just saw one. We've seen more than just the one that just happened, but let's see here. Vancouver. We were going for they're at 50 wins against Vancouver. Vancouver Canucks. Oh, Vancouver Canucks is 58 too. Man, not making it easy on us, that's for sure. Yeah, I think this game's risky. I have a feeling this game goes to overtime, but man, the 109th series game in the 29th prime is really the thing that's jumping out at me, especially since Anaheim Ducks is 109. Or wait, yeah, Anaheim Ducks 109. Because again, the Ducks win, they're both at 29 losses. Ducks would get the 25th win on the 25th. That with the overtime loss, the Canucks would be at 61 points. 61 is the 18th prime. Vancouver or Canucks is 18. Yeah. The thing about the 58 points is scaring me too, though, because Vancouver Canucks is 58 and Ducks is 58 with an overtime loss for the Ducks, 58 points. I'll tell you what I would do. If the Canucks are, if you can find a puck line where the Canucks are a 1.5 point favorite, which is probably out there, if the Canucks are a 1.5 point favorite, I would take that puck line in favor of the Ducks. So if the Ducks lose by 1, you're in business. But yeah, Okay, so NHL recap. I got to see what it was again between the Sabres and Maple Leafs. What was that stat? Oh, it wasn't that. What was it then? What did I forget here about my Maple Leafs game? Oh, I know what it is. It's Buffalo Sabres equals 80. Buffalo Sabres is 80. If the Maple Leafs win tonight, they do get their 80th points. That would keep the Sabres at 66 points on a 66 date numerology. So that would also give the Sabres their 25th loss on the 25th. The only concern is the Maple Leafs could get their 21st loss on the 21 date numerology. The riddle does seem favorable for the Maple Leafs to get their 80th points against an appropriate opponent. Canadiens Devils. It's the 56th day of the year. Canadiens equals 56. And with a Canadiens win, it keeps the Devils at 56 points. So I got to favor that narrative as well. The one risk here is the Devils can get their 25th win on the 25th, but the points with the opponent has been very good for us in the NHL, overwhelmingly. The Kings can get their 33rd loss against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay equals 137, the 33rd prime. So great team to get the 33rd loss against. Predators, they can get their 37th win. Edmonton equals 37. The only scare here in this game is Oilers has Gematria of 78. If the Predators lost in overtime, they'd be at 78 points. But I'm thinking that 37th win over the appropriate city is the better call there. Panthers Avalanche. Avalanche equals 67. Their next win is their 67th points. Their next game is at home on a date with 67 numerology. So the question becomes, do they get the 67th points tonight and walk into that game with 67? Or do they lose tonight and pick up the 67th points on the 67 date numerology? Personally, I want to see the Avalanche lose tonight because then I know we'll have a real good bet next game. Tonight's dicier, so if the Panthers were to win tonight, they'd stay at 25 losses, and the Avalanche would pick up their 25th loss on the 25th. And then Ducks Canucks, it's another dicey one. Ducks equals 58 with an overtime loss. They're at 58 points. Canucks equals 18. 61's the 18th prime with an overtime loss. They're at 61 points. Vancouver Canucks also equals 58. So I can't pull the trigger for sure either way on this one. Ducks could also get their 25th win on the 25th. So safest pick in the NHL by far has got to be the Lightning, giving the Kings their 33rd loss. I think if you make 3 strategic picks on these games, I think if you just stick with these 4 games right here, you should come out ahead. I imagine we'll be at least 3-1 in these 4 games tomorrow. Don't want to jinx myself, but the 80th points make sense to me. Staying at 56 in light of what we discussed. This game, not the greatest payout, but that's the one I'm most confident in. And just that 37th win over Edmonton. So, okay. So that's NHL review. Let's do college basketball review, NBA review, and we'll call it a day here. 21 date numerology. Notice both Kansas teams can have 21 wins on the 21 date. Got to ride with the date numerology. Notre Dame could upset Florida State. Fighting Irish equals 73, the 21st prime. They've won their last 3 against Florida State. The narrative for Florida State is that Seminoles equals 39. Today's date does have 39 numerology. When you write out 10 as a word, it equals 39. They could get their 10th win in the ACC. So if I'm betting on Notre Dame, I'm betting on them to cover. And if I'm betting on Kansas State, I'm taking Kansas State to even it up at 21-21. So, and then in the NBA, Hornets Warriors. 21 date numerology. The Hornets could get the 21st home win, upsetting Steph Curry, who's from Charlotte. I'd take the points with the Hornets. I think they got a chance to get it done here. Trailblazers should make the Cavs 9-23 at home. 9-23, that's what I expect. Pacers, Pistons, I would stay away from this game. Pacers, if they win tonight, they get their 41st win. Pistons does equal 41. But if they lose tonight, their next opponent's perfect for 41 as well. That's Dallas. Dallas is 41. The scare with the Pacers is they could get the 21st loss on the 21 date numerology. So I'm hesitant there. Spurs, they've done horrible on this road trip. This is the 8th and final game of the road trip. The thing is, this is the 93rd series match between the Spurs and Nets. Spurs equals 93 and 21. If the Spurs win tonight, they stay at 21 losses, and they keep the Nets at 21 wins all time in the series. So, Suns Heat, I'd ignore this game. Miami probably does get their 27th win, Miami 27. But the Suns are just such a weird team. They're like this totally unpredictable team. Miami probably wins, but the Suns are they're just so weird. So I would just stay away from it. If you got to make a pick, though, just take the Heat. I mean, they probably get the 27th win, Miami 27. I do like Milwaukee to beat the Bulls because Chicago equals 46. They get their 46th win. They also get their 21st away win on the 21 date. This is probably my favorite pick in the NBA today. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer pick, but the numbers are why I like it so much. And we've done well with the Bulls lately. We got the Bulls with their last 2 upsets, but I don't think the upset's happening tonight. So that's Chicago 46 plays in the 21 date. Hawks Rockets. The Rockets' next opponent has 36 Gematria. So I am thinking the Rockets get 35 tonight and then 36 in the next game. They can also get their 21st home win on the 21 date numerology. They're a huge favorite, so it's not a great payout. The Hawks upset narrative's the 21st overall win. But I'm thinking the Rockets get 35 tonight and 36 in the next one again, like I said. We have 39 date numerology today as well. Grizzlies can get the 39th loss. Lakers equals 39. I think that happens. Lakers become 30-30, which is kind of like 3-3, which is kind of like 33. It's in Tennessee, 137, the 33rd prime. Kings Timberwolves. Timberwolves have more narratives than the Kings in this game. The one scare is the Kings can get their 56th series win on the 56th day of the year. They could also stay at 55. Minneapolis equals 55, so does Target Center. It's not a real strong read here, but I do favor the Timberwolves. 76ers, 39th win on the 39 date. That makes the Pelicans 18-12. We've been tracking these 18-12 New Orleans riddles for a year. But the date numerology is what really gets me. Pelicans also equals 79, the 22nd prime. New Orleans Pelicans is also 79. Stay at 22 losses against a fitting opponent. Get the 39th win on the 39 date. And Mavericks Clippers, I would shy away from this game. Just because Dallas equals 13 and the Clippers could theoretically get their 13th home loss. And yeah, we talked about this one earlier. It's just it's too back and forth, and that potential 13th home loss scares me. So NBA, I think the best bets tonight. The risky pick worth a bet is the Hornets to cover. Blazers should beat the Cavs. Oh, hold on. Let me take this call real quick. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I had something I wanted to ask you about in college basketball. I didn't tune in until about that time when you started covering that. I noticed, and tell me if this is just not relevant or if you've ever noticed. It looks like there's some sevens that could be on the board for that game, like seventh loss.
Okay.
So when you write seventh out, it equals 39 with the S exception and reduction. So
wow.
I don't know if that's relevant or not, but just thought it was worth maybe pointing out if anybody's noticed that that's a pattern that we see it all.
Okay, so yeah, if you use the rule for S, seventh is 39. I see what you're saying. Okay, I've never documented that before, but I definitely know there's something up with 6th and 26, as we all just saw in the Super Bowl. So
right, that's what made me think of it.
Okay, well, let's watch it tonight. I mean, we're always learning something new. So
hey, and good call on that Michigan State game yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad that one went well. So
yeah, you're doing well with college basketball. So I mean, that's kind of what I was looking at those college games, seeing what you thought. I might do a little bit more homework on them just to see if there's anything there with that upset, though.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a good payout if there is. So.
All right. Thanks, brother.
All right. Take care, man. Welcome. All right. So 7th. So yeah, that would give Kansas State the 7th loss and Florida State if it worked out that way. All right. Let me come back to the NBA. All right, here. Let me scream through the review again real quick one more time. Hornets, I think they have a chance to beat the Warriors here tonight. I think I'd take them to cover. It's that 21-date numerology thing, 21st home win. Blazers over Cavs, I think, is good. Pacers, Pistons, I would shy away. Spurs, they have done horrible on this road trip, but I think they beat the Nets tonight. It's all about the 21 thing. Suns, Heat, I just don't even want to look at games where Suns play. Heat probably get the 27th win, though, again. Oh, I know what the scare was. I remember what it was now. It's that Suns equals 26. And if Miami got upset, they'd stay at 26. Yeah. Just the Suns are just such a weird team. I would just avoid that game. It's not a great payout anyway. I really like the Bucks to beat Chicago because of the 46 thing and the 21 thing. Rockets probably beat the Hawks, but they're a big favorite. And there is a potential upset with the 21 thing, but Rockets' next opponent equals 36, so I think the Rockets win 2 in a row. Lakers should give the Grizzlies their 39th loss. 39-date, Lakers equals 39. Kings, Timberwolves, little dicey here. I give the Timberwolves the edge. Again, the problem is Kings can get that 56th series win on the 56. Just makes me gun shy. I like the 76ers to get that 39th win on the 39 date. And Mavericks Clippers, I'm probably shying away from. If it wasn't for the fact that Dallas could give the Clippers their 13th home loss, and Dallas is 13 like LA, I'd take a stab at it. But if the Mavericks were a bigger underdog, I'd also say take the Mavericks to cover. But no, I think tonight I'd go with 76ers, Lakers, Bucks. I think I'd take the chance on the Spurs, Blazers, and Charlotte to cover. That's where I'd be at tonight. Again, college basketball, I think the Kansases both have 21 wins on the 21-date numerology. And Notre Dame, Fighting Irish equals 73, the 21st prime. Can they keep Florida State at 21 wins? That would be the upset of the night. There's a lot of upsets in college basketball. So I'll let you do your homework there. And then in the NHL, just to be extra thorough, Buffalo Sabres equals 80. Maple Leafs can get the 80th points, give the Sabres their 25th loss on the 25th. Canadiens equals 56. Devils can stay at 56 points against the Canadiens on the 56th day of the year. Tampa Bay equals 137, the 33rd prime. Kings can get 33rd loss. Edmonton equals 37. Predators can get 37th win. The one scare here is Oilers equals 78. With the Predators overtime loss, they'd be at 78 points, but I think the 37 points, or the 37th win over Edmonton's the better call. Again, Avalanche equals 67. Their next win's their 67th points. Their next game is on a date with 67 numerology. If the Panthers upset the Avalanche, they both have 25 losses on the 25th. I'd probably just lay off this game and hope, keep your fingers crossed the Avalanche lose, because if they do, they're in great shape for their next game. And Ducks and Canucks. Yeah, I'd probably just lay off this game too. Ducks equals 58 with an overtime loss. They're at 58 points. Vancouver Canucks is also 58. I have a feeling the Canucks win this game in overtime. Like I said earlier, if you can find a puck line where the Canucks are a 1.5 point favorite, maybe take the puck line and expect the Ducks to lose by 1 in overtime. I think that's very possible. But the Ducks could also get their 25th win on the 25th, so maybe just lay off. I think these 4 games are the better plays today, the top 4. 80 points, staying at 56 points. Lightning also equals 100. They can get their 100th points today, but give them their 33rd loss, and then that 37th win there. So if this game goes to overtime and you're one of those, if this game goes to overtime, Oilers and Predators, and you bet real time, then worry about the Predators losing, because Oilers is 78. So, all right, we'll leave it there for now. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Appreciate all of you. Oh, let me see. Chigozie's got a comment. Chigozie sees a thing with 23-9 in Ohio. So that's about that Cavs falling to 9-23 at home tonight. All right. Great work, Chigozie. Appreciate that. All right, you guys. Good luck tonight. Be back tomorrow. Same time. Have a great rest of your day.